Hey guys, how's it going? This is your boy Tabletop Android, your friendly neighborhood aviation enthusiast. It's 6 o'clock in the morning for me, so sounds like I have some sort of sultry radio voice, and that's just me waking up. We're making another attempt at doing some scenery development, and we'll just go ahead and get started. Now, I still have one monitor, so I'm going to be switching back and forth between the chat, so I hope I don't miss anything from time to time. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So the one that I'm working on now, let me pull up, actually I'm going to need a browser. And everything is going to be full screen. Alright. So the reason, let me see here, the one that I wanted to work on, there you go, I was wondering, this one here. So I'm doing a lot more, I'm doing some flying with EAA pilots or students. So what I want to do is we frequent these 3 airports. So I want to go ahead and build them out because they don't have a lot. Now the funny thing is this is my home airport and I did some stuff, but for some reason I never backed it up on GitHub, so it's gone, which is great because there's a lot of work, there's a lot of mistakes, so I could probably redo it. But this actually is a pretty big airport, so I think I want to try and work with this one. Let me actually see how often we're at this one. I think the other one that I did was D37, but I'm going to do something from scratch. So this is Covington Municipal. So you know what? Actually, let me make sure that someone already didn't do something with this. So I'm a little hesitant to do scenery development. Okay, great. No one's done anything. I'm a little hesitant only because one of the promises of MSF 2024 was that they were going to make everything objects. They were going to use AI to make sure that objects are generated for the scenery, which is great. There's a lot of flat buildings, or a lot of buildings that aren't generated. And I'm almost wondering, like, what's the point? Because right now I'm not doing any custom scenery development. I'm just adding the buildings that aren't there. And I'm wondering if 2024 is going to fix that problem. So we'll see. All right, so first things first, Covington Municipal Airport. Let's go ahead and give it some, let's go ahead and do a little bit of research. But actually, while I'm doing that, let's just go ahead and load up in there as well. So we'll be doing that. KCVC. Yeah, okay, so this one's gonna be fairly simple to do. I like these simple ones. So what I'm seeing is that all of these buildings are not generated. So that's what I want to try and fix. All right, so while that's loading, we can now go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go ahead and take a look at Google Maps. I think I copied and pasted it multiple times. Interesting. Okay, cool. So I didn't realize that there was another building. So there's these hangars. Here is, this would be a custom. So here is a custom building that I, if I had any good Blender skills, I would go ahead and create this, but I'm not there yet. Looks like there are animals. What is that? Looks like it's moving like a horse, but I don't think it's a horse. I don't know, but we can actually put animals in there. So since someone captured a video of an animal around there, maybe we could put something in there. All right, cool. So, all right, I did not realize this space over here. I don't think this is represented in the sim. Let's go ahead and, the first things first, put on developer mode. And I'm gonna go ahead and change the time of day. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. And we can actually, let's go ahead and pause the time of day so that we're there. So let's just take a quick peek. So as you can see, none of the buildings here are loading or generated, which is not fun. Yeah, there's a couple. So what we do as a group is there's a bunch of full stop and goes that we do here. And then when they come in here to park and kind of hang out, there's no obstacles. There's nothing to really stop. Let me switch the camera to developer camera. It's a little, you can move around a little faster, just a little. So I wanted to see this area that I completely missed. So it looks like there is a generated building. That's good. It doesn't, just looks like it's generated blocks. It's not really a building. So really, I might just, oh my gosh, yeah, look at that. That is certainly procedurally generated. I'm gonna probably exclude this building and just put something that's, a little fancier. And then I'm hoping that there are fence. So I'm assuming this is a fence. So I'll be able to put a fence there. All right, I'm digging it. Looks like there's some options here. Yo, Wagwan, Jamal. How are you doing, man? Good to see you here. I'm doing some flight sim development. targeting Covington Municipal Airport in Georgia, and we're going to go ahead and bring some life to this thing here. So I'm going to be using the standard hangars that are available. So we'll have to figure out, you know, like what can be matched. I'll have to figure out how to do this, and what I want to do is, yeah, okay. So I mean, I think I've seen some models like this before, and this looks like the fuel. All right, cool. So I don't think this is going to be difficult at all. All right, now let's go ahead and also check out the airport. So I have Navigraph. So this is where I'm going to get the bulk of the information. Hola, Mr. All good. Copy that, sir. So this is, I'm going to be using the charts here. Let's see. Sometimes they have a supplemental chart that will give you some obstacles and some other things. This right here looks like there is some approach lights. So actually, yeah, so this is an approach light. This represents a what is it called? It's called not a wind barb. Oh man, I always forget it. Windsock. This is a windsock that's over here, and then this is a beacon. Here we have our hangars. I'm going to assume that this is, since this is the main hangars, this is Alpha. And we'll call this Bravo Taxiway. And then here's another set of parking spots. All right. And then here we have runway 10 and 28, and they have different types of lights that are available. Their threshold and the width of the runway, which is 100 feet. I don't know how to read this yet. Okay, so we have enough information to get started. So let's go ahead. So the schema that I've come up with is my project name. I'm going to go ahead and give it the 4 ICAO identifiers, underscore, and then Covington. Windsocks. Thank you, sir. All right. So here, I'm in dev mode. Let's go ahead and start a new project. I have scenery. There's a project folder. Project name, KCVC. Covington Muni. Let me see if I'm spelling that right. Covington Municipal. Developer, blah, blah, blah. All right, so it's going to put everything in my scenery project folder. All right, what are we actually creating? We're not doing a bundle or package. We're not importing. So we're creating a new package. We're doing an airport. The title. Oops, I already spelled it wrong. Covington Municipal Covington Municipal. All right, that's cool. So here we are going to override. So select an airport to override. KCVCS, Covington Municipal. That is correct. Okay, I guess they already selected it. So we can put an airport anywhere, but we're going to override this one. So let's go ahead and create it. All right, so here is the initial project. And let me show you what the folder structure looks like. Here it is. So KCVC. So I could actually do this manually if I really understood the structure. That was just the wizard, and the whole point of the wizard was just to help you get this thing set up. So it creates a, I think this is an XML file. And this XML file, output directory, temporary directory, it just has these nodes in here, packages, so package definitions, and so it's going to read this package definitions XML file for some additional stuff. So there's a lot of things that I could put in here manually if I really wanted to. So here, the package sources. So this is where the bulk of the scenery stuff is going to be done. And if I wanted to, I could have other packages, other supporting elements, and other stuff. Packages, when it builds the package, builds the project, it's going to give me a final output in this packages folder. And here's the package definition. This is content info. So here's the thumbnail that's actually used. So here's the thumbnail that's used here. So at some point, I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot and do some editing. And here we have asset groups. So we have scenery, content info. So scenery, right now the scenery is going to be everything that I do inside of here. If I have more assets that I want to add on, I can actually do that manually. And now the interesting thing is, whatever I do manually, if it's not up to par, then this interface is going to overwrite that. So as long as what I'm doing manually is coded properly, then it won't be overwritten. Okay, so we have our versions. This seems fine. Title, scenery. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So here we have our project editor. So we can have a whole bunch of different assets and stuff in here. Right now, usually the only thing that we're going to be working with is a scenery. We're going to go to inspector. We're going to load in the editor. This is normal as it reloads everything. All right. So the funny thing about working with one monitor is that you have less room. I like a nice clean space to work with. All right. So this is what we're going to be working with. Now, this is interesting. One of the things you can start, I believe, if I go to properties, you can apply flatten, and I believe it'll flatten the entire space. So actually, let's just take a look at our working space right now. All right, so everywhere that you see the blue, that is the airport. So when I clicked on this object here, this purple object over here, this is the airport. Here's the object test radius. So if I wanted, it's 200 meters, 2,000 meters. This is considered the airport. So anything that's in here, it's going to replace or consider part of the airport. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm restricted to just that area. If there's, some objects or something that I really want to change, I don't know if there's anything special. Looks like that doesn't look like a real building. But I know that sometimes there's some like wind, some wind towers. No, sometimes there's some wind. I think they're wind towers. Sometimes there's like some wind towers that hasn't been generated, and I can put like a bunch of them. There's the water towers, so forth and so on. So you're not just restricted to the blue. All right, so one of the things here is they have this display name, which is this right here. If you empty that out, it's basically going to build it up from whatever it has here. So municipal. I actually don't know the city. This is Atlanta? Huh. Okay. So it's in Atlanta. It's in Georgia. And this one gets a little funky. Once I start doing the country and region, there is a different name for the region. Actually, you know what? Since you're here, so I'm gonna save scenery. Everything here is a part of the scenery element, and everything over here is a part of the project. So if I make changes here, I'll have to save it to the project. But this is a scenery element. So even though I'm on this side, I'm on the properties for any of these elements. So save that. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out what to put in here for the country and for the region name, because it'll be fun. So how we do that is there is, I think it's dev support. No, it's docs. Microsoft or Flight Simulator. Okay, looks like I forgot. So let's look docs. So I think it's docs.flightsimulator.com. Yeah, this is it. All right, so what we are looking for is the airport element, or what is this thing called? Object, I think, the airport object. Actually, there's a way here. So these are all objects. Here are your object types. So what we're looking for is the airport object. Yes, that's right. All right, so we have this right here can be a little intimidating. The content, this is the more structured way of getting your information. This index is kind of like an index in the back of a book. So if I do a search for airport, it should just filter out what I need. So here's airport objects, airport services, airports, and let's just go with the object. Oh, here's the airport definition properties. So I think that's what I'm looking for. So this page lists most of the different elements and attributes required to generate properly formed XML airport. Yeah, so it's all about the XML file. Everything that you're doing in this interface is the only product that it's producing, or the only product you're creating, are a series of XML files. All right, runway definitions, approach taxiway. All right, so let's see. So this is the actual XML format. So if you wanted to do that manually, you are more than welcome to. Towers, services. So this might not be what I'm looking for. I want to see the interface. This one here, apply flatten, generate flattening rectangles on the airport based on runway altitude and inclination. So, all right, this is something that we'll talk about later. There's services, fuel service, so we'll need to figure this stuff out. I actually haven't like really dived deep into that. All right, so let's see here, airports. So so this is programming APIs, GPS variables, airports. So this is under programming APIs. This one's under developer mode. And this one is environment, airport facilities. Okay, so I think this is the one that I want, because it's the scenery editor, it's objects, it's this one. So if I go into the properties, all right, airport, I can put different airports in there. So, and then here are the properties. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. How do I actually define? All right, so the region name is North America. Generally the region. All right, that's fine. And this is the name of the country that the airport is. Country. So is it as simple as doing United States? Or do I have to do the whole thing? Probably. And this is North America. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Now the last time I did that, for some reason, I guess I did it wrong, because now it seems to be fine. Because last time I couldn't even save it. There was a problem. Okay, we're good. All right, that was all for nothing. So one interesting thing I like about this is there is a tool, ground and altitude isolation. And it gives you kind of a neat look at the ground structure. And the reason why I'm a little concerned about that is I noticed that there was a dip in the runway over here. But it could just be rendering, because now everything seems to be okay. Yeah, okay. So maybe it was just a render. But if I wanted to change the depth of this, I could use that isolation, that isoline, altitude isoline to fix it. Okay, so I thought that this was, it looked like there was a big dip over here, but it looks like there, okay, so it looks like there is a dip. So I don't know if that is real. I mean, if that's like, you know, real life altitudes going on there, that seems a little dangerous. So I think one of the options that I saw is to apply flatten. And let me see if that actually does anything. Because I think the whole point is that it's supposed to flatten out the runway. And interesting. Now sometimes you have to get away and then come back, and then it kind of renders it properly. All right, no, it doesn't look like it did render it. I don't know how it works, but there are other options. So when we put a runway, we can actually have it flattened. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove a lot of stuff to get started. If we're going to do this, we have to do it right. So there's kind of like a boring aspect of it, then there's, you know, exciting, there's a bunch of different stuff. So when you're getting started and you want to delete whatever is there so you can start with fresh, there's this delete command. So we have delete all approaches. I don't want to do that. The apron lights, we can go ahead and get rid of that. The apron, so that's this right here. So I could keep I'm going to keep the apron unless there's a problem. Frequencies, we'll leave that. Helipads, so we're going to delete the runway because we're going to do our own. Starts, we'll leave that. Taxiways, we're making our own taxiways. Boundaries, jet towers, departures, arrival, painted elements. Sometimes we get rid of those. Yeah, we'll get rid of those. Port lights, taxiway signs. We're going to do our own. Okay, so everything else we're going to leave. The light presets, I don't know too much about that. Frequencies. All right, this was an element that we changed here, so we can go ahead and save that. I do a lot of saving because I get scared. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with adding in some stuff and then building it up from there. So the runway is going to be 10 and 20 and 28. Now, typically when you put one in, they always, for some reason, and I don't know why, but they consider one of them primary and one of them secondary. I don't know exactly how to determine what's primary and secondary, but I'm going to make the assumption, because there is a bulk of the hangers over here, that I'm going to make 10 the primary. Even though this is the, well, actually, you know what? Sorry. Pause. Because this has an approach lights, I'm going to assume that this is the typical direction that airplanes land. So actually, I'm going to make 28 the primary. So in order to do that, we're going to do the object type. We have a runway, and here are all the different headings. Whichever one you pick is going to be the primary. So 28, we're going to pick it. Here it is right here. And we're just going to kind of line it up. So one thing that you can do, and I mean, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, is you can actually, so the length is 6,000 feet. Everything in here is in meters. So you're going to have to do some calculations here. Meters, feet to meters. So 6,000 meters is 1828.8. So here, here's the properties. Here's the configuration. The length is in meters, 1828.8. All right, so theoretically that is the thing. According to this, it looks like the width of this is 100 feet. So let's go ahead and figure that out. 3048. All right. And the actual heading, not sure. So here, the heading is actually 28. The actual heading is 280. So this is 285. So let's go 280. So we can see that that's not accurate. All right. So here we have the start of our runway. All right, so what I'm gonna do, actually, let's make this a little easier to work with. I'm gonna put some of the markings on there first. So let's take a look at the Google Maps. All right, so it has a couple markings. The 10. This is the landing. That's the landing thing. It has a center line. I don't see any precision lines, so it's a pretty simple runway. So if I go back over here, we want the edge. Let's see if it has edge. I don't see any edge markings, which is usually like the white line on the end. So I don't see anything on the edges. Threshold. So it's got a threshold. And fixed distance marking, that's this one. Touchdown marking is that one, but it doesn't have one. So it just has the fixed. Center line, got that. The number designator has that. All right, I think that's basically it. So the precision marking, it doesn't have those. Extra, only usable from the primary end. Short takeoff. There's some other stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save that. And now we're gonna go ahead and try and turn it so that it's properly there. So we can use these these things over here to kind of move it around to get all the way to the other side. And I don't think the length is accurate. So I'm gonna go ahead and just manually shorten it. All right. Then I can move this over. So it even looks like it's not. So here we have, here's the width. So it's like, do I try and keep accurate with what the map is or with the definition? So, I think I'm going to go with what the map is. So this is a helpful feature. One of the things you can do. Let's see. Pavement. Oh, actually, materials. I think ground merging. So the ground merging helps. So it kind of merges with whatever's on the ground, and it helps me see what is underneath or what should be there. All right, there we go. So So that matches up with the area a little bit better. All right, so we have these extensions. I'm not sure what they're called yet. All right, so we have. Let's go ahead and save that. I think it's a part of pavement. So this is the secondary, and the length. I usually just guess. Okay, so it's actually not the threshold. I think it's the blast pad. Yeah. Okay, so this is the blast pad. Don't actually know, so we're just gonna go ahead and so there's no manual entry, so I just have to do this. 50 looks like 40, 30. Looks like it might be 30 meters. And if I go back to the map, we have 2 yellow arrows, so it could be better. Now here is the trick. Is trying to get this to line up. Yeah, okay. So here we have this white line here is kind of in just a little bit. Here we have here. All right, so then this one might be 35. Nope. Well, okay. It probably is 35, but I don't know how to move the arrows. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. Let's see, the 32. I think I'm gonna leave it at 30. Can offset some of the markings. Extra pavement. So this is past the edge. Precision mark. No. Materials. Pattern altitude. I don't know what that means. Oh wait, what is pattern altitude? Runway. Okay. There's no runway. Stop. Okay, so that's fine. Here goes our scenery editor objects. There goes runway. So let's see if we can find it over here. Runway objects. So this will have everything. Here's pattern altitude. Oh, it is actually the pattern altitude. Okay, this value, also called circuit height, sets the altitude for aircraft to maintain holding pattern, which is usually 1,000 feet above ground level. Let me see the value given in meters and is offset from the actual runway altitude. For example, runway with an altitude of 2,000 meters above sea level has a pattern altitude of 1,500 meters. The aircraft would be flying at 3,500 meters above sea level. So they give you MSL the whole time. Pattern altitude is that right? Doesn't sound right. 1,500 meters. That's 4,000. That's almost 5,000 feet. I don't think I understand. All right, we'll just leave it because I don't know. We'll come back to that. Okay, exclude vegetation. I was looking to see if there's a way of moving this or extending it, but I don't know right now. So we'll just leave this. Whenever we figure it out, we'll come back to it. Okay, so what we can do. What was this? This was pavement. I did this. I did like the 35. So it does cover this. So we'll just leave that for right now. Here is the 35 on the other end. And right now I'm basing this off of what the map is picking up. So we can see right now that this is not 35. 32, maybe 32. All right, and we can see here. You can see that it's not lined up 100%, and you can spend days and hours trying to fix that. What we could do is extend this a little bit. Could. So if we wanted to do that, we'd have to come back over here in the middle. So yeah, so here's the interesting thing. Yeah. All right, so we can extend that just a little bit. None of the pilots are really paying attention to the edges, I think. I don't know. They're trying to get their plane off the ground. All right. Okay, this is passable for the time being. I'm going to Control S to save it. All right, so we have that. And, oh, right. So this is the thing that I forget to cut. Okay, so one of the things that's important are the lights. So this is telling you the lights that runway 10 has, and these are the lights that's telling you runway 28. So not really, I don't know what all of these things are. And then they do have some approach lights. All right, so let's go ahead and just handle those right now before I forget. There's a couple times that I've released scenery and have totally forgotten to do the lights. So here we have this light here. Actually, yeah. So I believe these MIRL is what they stand for is medium. I think it's medium inside light. Not really sure. So the center we're gonna do medium. The edge we're gonna do medium. So it put lights in the center and it put lights on the outside. And we have approach lights, the primary, the type of system. So MALSR. So we have that one here. And you can see here that it generated something. So it did put some sort of lights on there. All right, so let's see here. Then we have Poppy on the left-hand side. Those are the approach lights. All right, I don't know about the end lights and all that stuff. Not really sure. So here's the VASI, which will be the primary left. And they have Poppy 2 and Poppy 4. And it just says Poppy. So based on the map, if I figure out if it's 2 or 4. And it looks like it might be 2. So here's where it looks like the pop lights go. So I'm gonna have to move these. Good thing is you can edit the position. All right, and you can see that it's not really there. So there is a spacing that you can do. Let's do 8 meters. 7 meters. Oops, okay, 7.5 meters then. All right, there we go. So roughly, we have what we're looking for. There goes our poppy lights. Let me go ahead and save that. So I guess because it's the primary, it has poppy lights, and it looks like the secondary does not. So it looks like we should always be landing on 2.8, which ironically or coincidentally, we've always been landing on 1.0. And you have the pitch. So it looks like the angle is 3 degrees. Touchdown is 32 feet. Don't know how to measure that. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. Okay, so we have those lights. Oh, we do have poppy. We do have poppy lights on the other one. And the angle is 4 degrees. I have not done that before. So here we have secondary. It's on the left. Yeah. So secondary on the left, poppy 2. And we'll actually change the pitch to 4 degrees. And now we'll go ahead and see if we can change that. Okay, so I think it put it all the way over here. And oh, there it is. I think very subtle. Right here. Go ahead and edit that position. All right, if it's anything like the other one, it'd be 7.5 meters. But actually, that does not look like. Well, I don't know. That doesn't look like it's going to be 7.5 meters. Actually, let's just do 7.5. I could be wrong. I was wrong. That's 7.5. Okay, so we got spacing. All right, almost finished with the runway. Okay, so we have. All right, so we have the medium lights, we have the pocket lights, we have the approach light. So I think we're good there. Yep, okay, I think we're good. Great. All right. All right, so let me see here. Is there anything else I'm missing with this? This is the instrument. I don't know how to do this. ILS reference. You know what? Let's take a look. Are we still on runway? Yeah, runway object. All right, so ILS not available for World Hub. Editing ILS data may invalidate all simulation nav data for the airport. Okay, so that is an important thing to know. This section is for setting up ILS systems. If you have an ILS reference, then you can input here. Okay, which I do not. I do not. Friendly name. Oh, neat. Note on navigation data. All right, cool. So if I really needed to do that, which I'm not going to, I don't need to right now. All right, so one thing, oh, right, that's what it was. The start. Because the start when the airplane loads up, if you ever want to load up onto the runway, it's going to start you here, which is not right. So let's go ahead and, since we're on this side, let's go ahead and edit the position for the secondary. Since we're down here. All right, so we're gonna start you. I don't know. I don't know exactly where you're supposed to go. So this is interesting. I don't like how these lights are right here, so we'll have to move this down a little bit. Now this. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and. Oh, right. So this is the thing. Once you move the position, it kind of throws things off. So now I get like an extended. I don't think I'll be able to edit the position of. Oh, okay. Let me at least do that, and then I'm gonna have to reload the project for it to fix that. All right, which is, fine, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save that. All right, cool. Now I can't select. Can I select this thing? No. All right, so let's go ahead and reload. So we're gonna go ahead and close the project. It's gonna render stuff. Let's open it back up. We're gonna go ahead and load our scenery in the editor. And now I should be able to have control over the stuff. All right, so it looks like we needed to adjust the endpoint here because of the lights. They are in the way of the taxi. So here are the lights here, and they don't seem to play nice. So we want the lights. All right, so this now changes this. Pavements, this was the blast pad area. Let's put this back to 30. All right, so that kind of fixes that. All right, so I'm going to think that this white area, or this threshold, should be behind the taxi area. What time we have? 54. All right, so I was only wanting to do this for an hour, so I still have a couple more minutes. All right, I'm just taking a look at this one. So the lights, so you see how the lights are not in the way of the person that's piloting, or yeah, that's taxiing. All right, cool. So I think we have the runway under control. All right, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to line up the taxiways. That's important. So let's do that. I don't know if we can do it quickly, but we can start. All right, so the objects here. So we have different taxiway objects. The ones that we're going to be working with is points. So when you have 1 point, when you have 2 points, then it creates a path in between. So really, these are the two major objects that you're working with when it comes to taxiway. So we'll start with the taxiway. You have different types of taxiway points: hold short that doesn't draw, an element on the screen. You have an ILS hold short and then one that doesn't draw. The reason why it doesn't draw, or sometimes you want it, is because the automatic draw doesn't match up, doesn't behave the way you want it to. All right, so we'll add one onto the scenery, and then from there, all right, let me see here. So I'm thinking, so you kind of have to think ahead just a little bit. So here's a hold short that's over here. So usually before you get on the runway, there's always a hold short. So I'm gonna put there's a hold short there. There's a hold short over here. Here's an ILS hold short. It's a little different. And then there's a hold short. So usually right before you get onto the runway, there's always a hold short. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the one click, and I'm gonna do a click there. And now what I want to do is modify this path. So it had a taxi point, and a path. So here's the path. And I'm going to edit the properties of the path so that it matches up what is on the map. So we always want a center line. I don't know if we always want it lighted. I don't know if they have them lighted. This is a pretty small airport, so I don't know if they would spend the money with lighted taxiways. I mean, probably not, but I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you? Right? So let's go ahead and at least get them center lined, or get the center line lighted. Okay, so here's the width, 30 meters. This is pretty big. There goes, so 16 meters might be, let's see here, 15 seconds might be 14. All right, so it looks like 14 meters is what's there. All right, draw the surface. I don't know why it's not showing it on top, but okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll start with that, and then we'll just go ahead and work our way around. Okay, so from here, now that we have the taxi path, as we continue to one click, we're gonna start at that edge. We'll do the one click, and this one's gonna be a little funky. It does that, but we'll fix this later. It's not that important right now. All right, so let me see here. If we take a look, because I'm thinking about the lines. So there is a line that's there, and then there's one that goes here. So what that does is that there's a point here, and there's a point here. But I don't need to worry about that just right now. So I'm going to, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the points, but they don't have to be perfect. Here, I'm going to do these. I'm going to do these points, and then I'm just going to move on. All right, and as we move on, let's see what this looks like. So we still have one line that's there. 1, 2. Does this we can figure that out. 1, 2, and then 3. So we can do. So what I want to do is you have to connect your taxiways to the runway. So I at least want to get that going. So here we have the 2 buildings, and then we have these 2 points here. Right now they don't have to be perfect. We'll fix everything in post. All right. So there goes that. There's a hold short that's here. And then we're on the runway. All right, now at this point, I'm going to connect this last point with the other one. And I'm going to control click to select them both. So I'm going to control click. There we go. Right click and create path. So this is a path. So your runways, sometimes you have to lock objects. So here's our path. I'm going to change this from a taxi to a runway path. And it's going to change it to like a dark blue. All right, so the good thing is now we don't have any errors. I mean, it's green, but that's only because there's no, I mean, it's yellow because there's no hold short line, which is fine. We'll fix that. But now we can save it. All right, let's see here. Just want to create the overall, and then we'll do the individual stuff later. But this is a taxi path as well, and then it goes all the way into here. And then this is a taxi path. This is a fancy looking. I don't know about all of this. Oh, look at that. This has a threshold thing as well. So I was wrong. Okay, cool. So we'll fix this. We'll fix it. Gotcha. Okay, so there was All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and run the taxi path. Oh, actually, look at this. So it looks like this is, Bing Maps is sometimes not accurate. 2024 will be updated, but it looks like we have a little bit of work to do here. So here is this this taxi path, and here's this one. It looks like they have this. It looks like there may have been some construction, like they were going to do some stuff, but they did end up extending it. Right now it's not extended, so we're gonna do some work and try and make it match. It shouldn't be too difficult, but right now we'll just stick with the basic path. All right, so we'll do the one click. This is going to change, so we'll just bypass that. I love that sound. Welcome, Raiders. Early morning Raiders. Who was that? We Fly Daily. What's up, buddy? How are you doing? Doing a little bit of scenery development here, working on Covington Airport. Now, I do have one monitor, so I'm going back and forth between the text and the actual stream itself. We Fly Daily Raid, baby. Glad you guys are here, man. How's your stream? What were you flying? Who else were you raiding? All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of adjustments here. Now, notice how this is blue like the runway. So that's because I started from this one, and so what I'm gonna have to do now is change this type from a runway back to a taxi. And that was my bad. So good thing here, you can control click. Got it all worked out. We can split the path and just kind of fix this up a little bit. My God. I appreciate the raid, my friend. Rumor has it RPG is still doing gold. Were you guys flying with RPG? Wait, I don't know if you answered me. We fly. What were you guys doing, man? All right, so we're just we're actually just about to wrap up, but before we did, I just wanted to at least get a rough cut of what's going on here. So we're gonna split this path, and then we're gonna move it so that it kind of fits in here. So we'll fix everything eventually. Go ahead and save that. So what I like to do, because now this is getting out of hand. What you can do is create folders or groups. So all the taxiway stuff, I'm gonna highlight them. This is, you can create a new group, and then I'm gonna rename this to taxiway. Taxiways. I'll just do a taxiway. All right, we will need to connect this eventually, but we'll get there in a minute. All right, so this is starting to come along here. We have our runway, we have our lights, and now we have like more objects coming in here. We have a rough outline of our taxiway. We'll go ahead and fix all of that stuff. Actually, one last thing that we can do, because we did see that there is a taxiway. Oh, look at that! Looks terrible. So these lines, yeah. So we'll have to play around with these lines. So it's possible, actually. I think what I was trying to do was what I'm gonna do is we'll split it. So the good thing here, and then I think it did it. Ew, looks nice. It looks ugly, but it'll work. It'll work for right now. So it just wanted an extra point. All right. So yeah. So here we go. So looking at this, we can just do one that goes straight, and then do this. Okay. So 1, 2, and then 3, and that'll be fine. So what we have it like this. We can go ahead and create. We can split the path there. Just kind of fix that up, and then we can join these two, create a path, and there you go. It looks ugly, but we'll fix it in post, but we at least have our structure. And this over here, we're going to do some work on this one. So this doesn't represent what's in Google Maps. Google Maps, they went ahead and added another extension, so we'll go ahead and do that too. Yeah, look at that. So this one goes all the way over here. So it looks like this needs to extend. Oh, you know what's interesting? So originally when we saw that this was 6,000 meters, and it did actually go out to here, but I was like, that doesn't match up. That's because the charts were correct. The charts were accurate, and the map that we were using was not. All right, you did some cargo runs. Let me see here. Let me try and catch up with chat here. Oh man, you said a lot. I missed a lot. Hold on. We flew from Sochi to Ashgabat. I don't know what that is. The 160. I like it. First, then we flew the Airbus. I don't like it. Forget where, out of it. Sochi, Ashgabat, and then we flew the 160 over Vietnam. Huh. There's some cargo runs. For cargo runs, so are you using any economy add-ons like flight FS? What is that? FS Economy or On Air Company? Was a lot of fun, had major brain farts. Oh, you POS. You see what RP just did at the airport? No, I didn't. I didn't see it. I'm not there. I fly all planes, Airbus and Boeing. I only fly general aviation. Lands late and then crashes into US. The audacity. I enjoy them all. Who can hate on the Phoenix? I can. Well, I mean, not that I hate on it. It's just not my preference. Other devs need to learn from Phoenix. I agree. Other devs need to learn. All right. Yeah, okay, so this was accurate, and there was a reason why it was accurate, and we're gonna make it accurate later on. Okay, so this is the motivation for this one is I've been flying with my local EAA chapter 690. Oh, look at that, my plane broke. And we fly to this airport often, and there's no building, there's no generated buildings, so it's pretty lame. So I'd like us to actually start having some fun with these airports. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this one, and then we'll be pretty cool. All right, so this is actually the end. I was trying to do this for like an hour. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me actually do this. So let me show you. So now that I have this, let me show you the file structure. This is the last thing. So here we have the files that packages is empty. We haven't built it yet. I believe. Which one is the output? I think is this one. So anytime I save something, it adds it to this XML file here. So this is just the nastiest file ever. You can see here that I deleted all the taxiways. Here's the complete airport. So the fact that it's all text based is actually super helpful for me, because I can now save it in. I can do code reviews in GitHub. So what I'm going to do here, because I have the this is, yeah, so here we go. Let me see if I can do it on this browser. So whenever I do a project, I didn't sign in here. All right, let me show you this. Okay, so I have my tabletop organization. Here's some repositories that I have. So I'm going to create a new one. KCVC, Covington Muni. I'm going to make it public, and here it is. Okay, so we have a blank repository. I'm going to go ahead and clone this in here. So that means that I'm going to need to use my I don't have to, but I like using my terminal. Flight scenery. We're gonna go into the KCVC. This one here. All right. So using Git, if I do Git status, it's gonna say, hey, there's no .git folder. We don't know what this is. So I'm gonna initiate. This is now an empty repository. So if I do Git status, I can actually see some stuff. I'm going to add the remote. I'm going to connect it to the repo that I just created. So that is git remote add origin, and I'm going to add that. All right. So I'm going to add all the files. So they're all green. So this is staging, and then I'm going to commit. Initial commit message. All right, and then I'm going to push it up. Because it's the first time that I've pushed it, it doesn't know where I want to push it. So set upstream from the origin is the remote repository. Oh, I don't want to push it to. I don't want that master. I want that main stuff. All right, so hold on. So right now my branch is called master, but I want to change it to main. Master. I want to change it. So let me see if I changed it properly. No, I didn't. Oh, it's not MEV. M. Master main. Unknown option. Hey, how do I? Oh, git branch. Git branch. So that's the old name, and I want to change it to the new one. And if I do branch, yeah, okay. So now we have git main. So now I'm going to push it, set up stream, origin and main. All right, so now it pushed it. So what I love about it is that it's all safe. So if something terrible happens to my computer, the work that I just did is now safe on a remote server. So every time that I make changes, I'm going to go ahead and commit them, and then I can push them. If you see the commits, here's the initial commit, and you can actually see the files. Because it's an XML, I can actually see the individual lines. So here's the package definition. These are all the new lines, the plus. These are all the new lines that were created. Here's the thumbnail. Here's the scenery. So this is all of the stuff that we just did. The runway, everything, airport stuff. And then as I continue to make changes, there'll be, deltas, blah, blah, blah. Yakety smack. All right. We're looking good. All right. Let me see here. Now I'm looking at the chat again. As much as I love PMDG, they can't change that much for playing on that level. Dang, that whole scenery thing, another art. But Dave, Phoenix and PMG, their base model is around the same price, to be honest. And with PMDG, Dave, you get, wait, what is PMDG, Dave? You get BBJ and the freighter, and it's almost 3 planes in one. You hear that? It's almost 3 planes in one. And with the all right, guys, let me go ahead and let us get you moving on, because I'm basically finished. Flights. Nope, not flight sim. Twitch. Who's on Twitch? It is early morning stuff. There's not a lot of people on. Ooh, Duluth. Wait, did he just start? He's been on for an hour and 12 minutes, but he looks like he's in the middle of flight. Flight. All right, let's go ahead and give this guy some love. Duluth Fly. All right, we fly daily. I appreciate you and your posse coming in here, showing me some love. I appreciate it. I'm Tabletop Android, your friendly neighborhood aviation enthusiast. I stream on Tuesdays typically for scenery development. I try and do that stuff in the morning time. It's pretty random right now until I get my act together and have a strict schedule. I hang out with the Pilot Club. You can find me on tabletopandroid.com, so forth and so on. All right, I'll see you guys around. Enjoy your time with Duluth Fly.